Penguinz0 and Sneako have been beefing for multiple weeks now, and whenever it seemed like the drama ended, a new layer was added. However, in the past few days, Sneako had a complete shift of online persona, which might be a savior to his currently demolished reputation. After Sneako made fun of Charlie and his girlfriend, threatened to shoot him, called magazines clips, openly defended the movie Cuties, which depicted children in a sexual manner, and openly admitted to cuckoldry, which was followed by a recommendation to his audience, his reputation was utterly reduced to ashes. But there were some videos uploaded that show how Sneako has changed because of Charlie. 3 days ago, a video titled "I Love the New Sneako" was uploaded, in which he goes over everything he has faced in the past few weeks. He first clarified that he doesn't do cuckoldry anymore, and that he doesn't recommend it to anybody.
But it's no secret that I have a degenerate past. Around 3 years ago, when I was 21 years old, I went to a swinger party with one of my girlfriends and joked about how traumatizing it was on a podcast. I was cheating on her a lot, and I felt bad, and I thought it would make us even if we swapped with the couple. I don't do it anymore, I don't recommend it, and seeing how many people call me a cuck for what I thought was a funny story, you should probably not do the same.
Later in the video, he started talking about Charlie and how he completely disagrees with his ideology, but even though he apologized to him and his girlfriend and everybody else he had a disagreement with.
Moist Critical is the physical embodiment of everything that I stand against. And honestly, no disrespect to him, I don't dislike him, he's just the perfect example of a popular YouTuber that's brainwashed. I used to watch his videos when I was a teenager, just like a lot of my other haters, and today he's everything that I don't want to be when I'm 30 years old. When I'm his age, I don't want to be playing children's video games, playing with dildos for content, and using Satanism to be edgy. I don't want to drop the Antichrist for fun. I'm officially retiring the soyboy image. I forgive everybody who advocated for my cancellation or made documentaries about me, and I'm ditching my attacking style of streaming. And I apologize to Moist Critical for showing a picture on stream of you and your girlfriend. That was not very Christ-like. I'm sorry.
Even from these clips, you can see that Sneako has lost his extravagant and flashy way of presenting his worldviews, which he used to have just a few weeks ago. Sneako mentioned everything about the drama in his video, but decided not to bring up the predator allegations he had faced because of the movie Cuties. Sneako holds the opinion that the movie Cuties is a great movie, since it supposedly teaches the viewer the corruption of wokeness in Western countries and shows the importance of Islamic faith. Even though Charlie mostly agrees with the message of the movie, he believes that there is no justifiable reason to portray children in a sexual manner ever.
Under no circumstances should children be sexualized is where I stand. Do you disagree?
I agree, but I'm defending the point of the movie.
You can defend the point of the movie but you can still condemn the movie itself. The point can stand on its own 2 feet, right? Like, there is a problem, which you recognize, with kids being sexualized, in specific on TikTok. That is a problem in and of itself.
Sneako and Charlie already had a major disagreement 2 years ago about the movie, but since then, they only reacted to each other's clips and didn't have a real interaction with each other about this topic. Everybody thought that Sneako's Rumble video would mark the official end to the Penguinz0 vs Sneako drama, but one tweet of Sneako changed the trajectory. Cuties is really about how important Islamic values are in the face of satanic wokeness. I love Cuties, heart emoji. Him openly stating how much he loves Cuties didn't directly change the trajectory, because that was already clear from the beginning. But the reply he made was the crucial part of this entire drama. He will never debate me, however. Your favorite YouTubers sit in their rooms and feed lies to you. This rang all alarm bells for Charlie, since they would later be engaging in a debate with each other. They first off debated about the movie Cuties, where Sneako would still hold his opinion, but Charlie would try to understand and battle Sneako's ideas.
I think that was needed. That movie was needed to be made. And I also don't think that movie encouraged to go and cite and look at these girls. I think that they're more likely to go on TikTok and find girls that they're attracted to. I don't think that this really attracted people to these girls.
Well, it's not like I'm here arguing that this movie created pedophiles, right? But what it did is it delivered a film that they would watch for totally different reasons than the message. Again, the message isn't something that I or pretty much anyone has an issue with. The message is, like you mentioned, the social media poisoning them, making them do the sexual things, which is a problem. But this movie contributes to it since it still used real children to sexualize them to showcase it. That's the issue.
However, the conversation between these two branched out to Sneako talking about his supposed cancellation.
You champion bullying. You think bullying needs to come back. I have never canceled you. Can you recognize that? I have actually always spoke out against deplatforming, if you've ever noticed. I spoke out against it.
No, but you were also disingenuous. When I called out the soyboy collage, you were like, these people just hurt my feelings. Most of those people actively advocated
One
for my
person.
cancellation.
Nick is not green is the
That's
only
not
person.
True. That's not true. Ethan Klein celebrated and clapped when I was banned and said, good, finally this misogynist is banned. What happens on the internet, I understand. It's good to have back and forth. Bullying is good because it makes you have to develop your character in a different way. That's not why I was upset. I was upset because a lot of these people were secretly happy or secretly hoping that I was going to get banned because they disagree with my ideology.
Sneako differs in the way of expressing his thoughts, but he still doesn't let go of his opinions as it becomes clear from this clip.
Because you don't correct your mistakes. You
I
were wrong
actu-
about Fresh and Fit. You were wrong about Andrew Tate. And
So-
you were wrong about the movie Cuties.
Okay.
But later, Charlie managed to convince Sneako that the story one of the members from the Fresh and Fit podcast told about sleeping with 3 women in one night seems ridiculous and that there is no evidence to back this claim.
With Fresh and Fit, you really hung up on this idea that he fucked 3 women that night after meeting an NBA player at a bar and they exchanged Instagram information and it turns out they were Eskimo bros with the same girl's pussy. Like, it's an outrageous story. Now, whether or not it's true, you haven't proved it either. Were you there watching him fuck? Were you
He
cheering him on?
verified it. He showed the DMs with the basketball player. They did
That-
the whole podcast verifying the
the
story.
DMs
And you didn't correct it. Did you? Okay, so you didn't correct that. They did verify the story. You didn't correct it. Andrew
Did they have
Tate
the
was in
basketball
box,
player?
and-
Did they have the basketball player and the 3 girls he fucked come on and be like, oh my god, he absolutely plowed the shit out of me. It was the best sex of my life. Did he
Okay,
have...
that would never happen, but he did show the DMs with the basketball player verifying the story and that he did go to the party. Whether or not you want to believe he was with 3 women, I wasn't there either. I guess we're never going to know.
Once again, Charlie has managed to bring Sneako to the realization that he started the beef and not Moist Critical.
This was a quick point that I think he did see my side on. He likes to make the claim that I was farming him for views and AdSense money, which couldn't be further from the truth. I never wanted to talk about Sneako. I never had plans of doing it. He kept poking and prodding me until I did. And then, once I did, he wasn't happy that I was so mean in my response that for 3 months he did carry on this very one-sided beef until, once again, I decided to spit and play in the pig pen and I made a tweet firing back at him after months of not even mentioning him, and then made a follow-up video, but it was never part of my agenda to do that. And I think after explaining it to him, he did see that he was really the instigator. And I am glad that he did have that, realization after our conversation, that he was willing to accept that. I think that is healthy, that he was open to seeing that, okay, maybe I was wrong and his intention wasn't drama AdSense farming.
During the end of the debate, they started talking about Andrew Tate and various other topics, but both Sneako and Charlie wouldn't change their opinions. It's unclear how Sneako has changed his worldviews after this debate, but Charlie mentioned that he definitely changed his image of Moist Critical.
He really seemed to change his whole tone about me as a person. I'm not a psychiatrist here or an expert in the field, but if I had to wager a guess, I think Sneako put an image of me in his head and attributed a whole ton of characteristics to that scarecrow that he put in there that just isn't actually me in reality, and that's who he attacks so vehemently.
It's very interesting to see that there are long periods in this debate where Sneako is actually listening to Charlie without interrupting him in the slightest bit. At the end of this debate, Sneako and Charlie had somewhat of a wholesome interaction with each other, ultimately ending this drama.
I think that's a good way to end it on. Hope we could talk again in the future. I don't think we should have beef. And yeah, you did. I want to thank you for starting that whole Sneako hate brigade, because it's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I am guilty of doing the same things that I am mad about. And I do attribute a lot of that to being canceled and a lot of resentment about that. But I just have to spread positivity now and then not engage in the same type of behavior that I criticize. Yeah, you're right about that. So I'm just going to go and, I'm not going to go attack mode anymore. I don't think that there's any value to that. It's just going to come back to me.
Well, I actually really appreciate the conversation, man. It's nice to hear like a more human side of you outside of like, what I see on Twitter or Rumble. I actually do think this was a very valuable conversation, so I appreciate you I really appreciate you taking the time to have a bit of a call with me about it.
Yeah, thanks, man. And mags, not clips.
Yeah, from now on, bro, if you're gonna be talking about guns, get the terminology right. You very much offended me with that one.
I think we can all agree that this is definitely a really happy ending, which is not seen too often on the internet. This is really a remarkable example of how internet drama should end, by a friendly conversation where everything is peacefully talked about without insulting one another. If you enjoyed this video, You will enjoy this one too about Matan Evan, who first crashed the Game Awards and is now basically everywhere on Twitter. Trust me, it is a good video.